Hey, it's Pete from Abstract Ocean. Today we're installing our Ultrabright and Mega Bright bulbs in a Highland Model 3. So there are some differences between this and the original classic, whatever you want to call it, Model 3 that Tesla have had 2018 to early 2024. And so the bulbs we're selling, I'll show you over here, so they come boxed, so we sell them individually. On the website there's a list of locations where they can be installed in Model 3 Highland. I'll flash that up now as well. But as you can see here, I'm going to be mostly installing blue bulbs. I've got a couple of white ones here as well. This is how you'll get them, they're boxed in a package. Now they're quite difficult to get out of some locations. We've tried on one door and we figured, well, you know, we often get accused of showing how easy it is to pop a bulb out of a Tesla. So this is going to be a warts and all video. We're going to do all of the locations, and to help us with that we're going to use a spudger, and this is typically our go-to tool. It's non-marring, it's sacrificial, it's great. You know, we've been using these for 10 plus years. And if that doesn't work, if that doesn't give us enough leverage, we've got another kit, like a trim removal kit. So we've got various tools in here. Most are going to be using the short stubbies probably to kind of pry it out as well. And then if all else fails, we go for the stubby screwdriver. Now the reason we don't recommend this is it's metal. You're going to be levering against soft trim, so there's a chance you'll cut the trim. So you'll always want to put something behind that. And then there's also a chance you'll crack the lens on the factory bulb. Now I don't care, we're not going to be putting the factory bulbs back in, but you might care. So this is very much a last resort. One other final thing to mention, we sell what we call pigtails. So the doors especially are a little bit tight in terms of being able to pull the cable out with the bulb, put the new bulb on, put it back in the door. So we sell these, they're literally just little 6-inch or 150mm extenders. You probably won't need them, but we don't have enough experience yet of Highland. It was certainly a problem in early Model Ys, which I sort of resolved, but you'll probably see it as we start on the installation. Okay, with all of that said, let's start in the easy location, which is the trunk. So here we are on the right side of the trunk. I'm going to grab my spudger, and these should be pretty easy because it's basically the carpet trim, so quite a lot of flexibility. I'm going to kind of do it at an awkward angle just so you can see what I'm doing, but usually at one end of the bulb there's a little notch that you can get a pry tool underneath, so that's what we're going for here. And sometimes you kind of need to get sort of under a full edge, but as you can see, that more or less came out without too much of a fight. And then I'll show a close-up of how to unclip the bulbs. Okay, so you can see hopefully there's a little push thing here. You can use your thumb, or as I'm using here, you can just use the spudger, and that just releases it. I'm going to use my thumb because it's easier. You can kind of grip the wire then as well, so just like that. Well, obviously we sell 4 colors. We sell purple, red, blue and white. For the trunk we're going to use white just because we're looking for practicality more than anything else. So these are typically, well, these are 16 times brighter than the factory lights, and you can see, just to reinsert it, just push it back in. Took a bit of leverage, but really quite easy. Okay, let's switch to the left side. So this side is going to be a repeat pretty much. So normally it's easier. You can maybe see that it's a bit more indented on this side than it is on this side. So normally it's easier just to go for the shallow side and just pry it out. There we go. Kind of weird, they got the cable all wrapped up over there. Pop that out, pop a new one in, make sure I'm using one of ours. So I should say ours are like for like the factory lights. If I sort of show you side by side, there's a factory one, so they're absolutely identical. That's sort of the intent with these. And like the factory lights, all of our lights are CE certified, RHS certified, and guaranteed for as long as you own the car. Our lights use super high quality components. They're made in Taiwan. not in China, which you might think, well, Taiwan's kind of part of China, isn't it? Depending on your political outlook. Well, kind of, but Taiwan is generally regarded as the home for LED lighting. So that's where we source these from a major manufacturer that supplies a huge German OEM. Can't say who it is, but you know, that kind of narrows it down to two basically. Okay, so we've done the trunk. We'll show sort of a before and after later on when it gets dark. Now we'll go to the front doors. All right, so here we are on the driver's side door. And we're going to start with just our regular spudger. And you can see there's a notch at this end. So we're going to work on that. So the problem is the trim on the Highland is quite a bit softer on this lower surface, so you just don't get much leverage. So I'm going to try and get more of the spudger under there. Maybe work our way down the side. Oh. Yeah, these are a bit of a thing to get out. Okay, plan B is going to be something like this, I think. So we can just pry it out with a bit of plan A as well. There we go. Okay, so those are a little bit more difficult, and there is no slack on this wire at all. So that's as far as the bulb will come out. I don't know if you can see that on one of the cameras, hope you can. So I'm going to release it. And then that's probably going to recoil back up into the door a little bit. So for this, so just want to kind of show you. So here's a blue bulb. Now you can do it, it's not the end of the world. You know, this will go on, but you sort of have to be half in the hole to hook it on. And to me, that's just too much of a pain. So pigtails are required. I'm going to grab one now. This just slips on very easily. He says optimistically. Let's push that clip down. And then that just obviously extends the wire, lights up. And we're going to tuck these in. Now, unlike on the original Model 3MY, there we go. The circuit for the lights is not tied to the window, so you don't have to worry about winding down the window or any kind of errors popping up on the screen. I will say though, as always, usual caveat, if any of the lights do not light up once installed, just let the car go through a sleep cycle overnight and that'll take care of it. Every circuit now in every Tesla uses soft fuse or virtual fuses, and they re-baseline overnight based on the current draw, so it will fix itself. You just have to be patient. We've actually not had any issues so far in the Highland. As you can see, they light up straight away, but that's what you do if something isn't acting as you'd expect it to do. The chances of the actual bulb being defective are very, very, very low. Okay, rear passenger side door. Bear with me on some of these angles. You may get a lot of shots of my elbow, which isn't very helpful, I know, but sometimes it's just a little difficult to get the shot we need. So, trying again with the regular spudger. God, these are just in here so tight. So you definitely need to get a full edge under it. If you're just going in like this, you'll never get the leverage you'll need. But same thing, I think I'm going to get another pry tool, get that under. Even that doesn't really want to go. Well, I promised you you'd see warts and all, so this is what you're going to have to go through for at least for the rear passenger doors. They're very, very, very tight. Oh, nearly got it. There we go. Whew. So a little bit of patience. They pop out. We have a little bit more slack on this one too, which is good. Try and release it. Sorry, without. This is not as awkward as it looks. It's only awkward if you're trying to do it with a couple of cameras in the way as well. Okay, so this is where I'm going to use the wire that's there. I'm not going to extend it, but you just kind of have to angle it around a little bit to get it hooked up. There you go. All right, so now we're going to, if you want to skip the next section, please do. It's kind of just a mirror image of what we just done, but we'll go to the passenger side and do the front and rear over there. So on the passenger side, it looks like I've already tried a different bulb in there. This is one of our Mega Bright puddle lights. This one's actually a Cybertruck one because we're testing that. So this will hopefully come out a little bit easier. I'm going to try and go from this edge. Yeah, so that's not typical. I've had a previous fight with this one, I'm sure. So, and this already has one of our pigtails on it too. So you'll see how much easier that makes it. So for the Mega Bright puddle lights, we have a lot of different projections for that. Lots of combinations of the T logo with the word mark. So they all come in white, blue, red. And then we also have a plaid multicolored one. And then we have Cybertruck, which ironically, Cybertruck is even fussier than Model 3 Highland, so we cannot get those working yet on the doors. We're still working on that, but they do work fine on Highland. Okay, so that was super easy. Let's go to the passenger side. Oh, sorry, the rear on the passenger side. So rear passenger side, this one will be a bit of a fight as well. This is the original bulb I can see. In case anyone's wondering, so this is new on Highland. It hooks into the structure and just stops, it just maintains the integrity of the door in a side impact. Kind of neat. Lots of cars have these now. Our Rivian has them as well. So I'm going to go straight in with the larger pry tool. I'm going to go with this end because it's just easier. And then see if that'll go. Nope. Try again. Okay. Gonna have to take a two-pronged approach with this. There we go. Just took a bit more effort, but not bad. Not a whole lot of slack on this cable either. Pop that out. See if I can get a blue bulb on there. Okay, and then pop that back in. Those are the doors. Let's move on to the footwells. So Tesla have made this so much easier now on the Highland. I'm pretty happy about that. So up here, we're on the passenger side right now. There's a panel that needs to come down and you can just kind of pull it down. The beauty of it is, if we can see this on one of the cameras, you just have these locating lugs, 1 and 2. You have this sort of hook at the back that you hook in as you put it up. And you just have magnets holding the trim up, so super cool, makes it so easy. And then the actual puddle light is right here, which I'm going to move the camera a little bit so we can see it better. Now I've got the trim down. Alright, difficult to get the angle, but that's where it is. So it's just in here, in this plastic trim here. This actual trim is, as you can see, quite floppy. But the good thing is you can kind of get behind the bulb if you need to, and get in front of it. So just using a spudger for now, 2 hands to support it. And just pop that straight out, so very easy. Release the clip, pop a blue one back on, and just tuck it back up there. Hardware full computer, in case anyone was wondering. And then to install the trim piece pack, the main thing to pay attention to is this hook. So if I get the trim piece sort of back in place, sorry to get it out of the way for installation. All right, so you just want to make sure that that hook is engaging at the back. Hopefully you can see that just there. Push that back and then literally just pushes up and that's it. So make sure the magnets are engaged, but it's pretty foolproof, super easy. We'll go over to the driver's side now. So on the driver's side, so much the same. Just again, kind of just grasp the trim. There's a couple of places, you just feel around, you can find a spot to get hold of it. Or you can use a spudger just to pop it down at the front, but as you can see, that's all we have to do. In this case, the light is built into the trim piece. So we're going to release the power, like so, and then kind of get this so we can pop it out. There's the end with the nook to remove it. Okay, so we're going to go at this one a little bit different just because we can, and hopefully one of the cameras is picking this up, but I'm just going to work it through from the back instead. So these are the little spring clips that hold it in. Now I'm going to kind of just squash those intentionally. Oops, trying to slice my finger off. And then pop it through, like so. That may have been a bit chaotic, hopefully the camera got some of it, one of the cameras got some of it. And then to put it back in, obviously just reverse the process, oops, get it the right way round. It doesn't really matter, but sometimes the cable's just a bit too short. Snap it in, reapply power. And then for this one, there's a hook as well. Here's the hook piece. Difficult to get the hook at the back in camera, but you can see it in real life. Okay, I want you to go grab a light. So hope you can see where the spudger's pointing in now. That is where this little clip needs to go into. So it's a little bit fiddly, but and you do need to give it just a little bit of gentle encouragement just to slot in up there. Just trying to see what's preventing it. There we go. And again, it's just magnets that hold it in place, so very easy to do. Hopefully my hat and my hand and my arms and my elbows didn't get in the way of that, but when you're actually down here underneath here, it's quite straightforward. Okay, Glovebox next. It's very difficult because the Glovebox is tiny, so you can't get leverage on any of these angled trim tools. It is working its way out though. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go on record and say don't bother with the Glovebox. It's just not worth it. It's too small, way too tight in there, and the lens is bending already, so you're more than welcome to try, but we're not going to recommend it. Okay, for the center console there are two locations, one in the back and one in the front. The one in the back you just cannot get to. There's no leverage, it's kind of shining down, so I wouldn't bother with that one. The one in the front is a little bit more manageable, so let me try with a regular spudger first. So we're going to go in from the top. Let's see if it'll pop out that way. Not a lot of leverage here, so I'm going to get something that's a bit broader. Almost there. Cool. There we go. Woo. Another difficult one. Pop the old bulb off. Put the new bulb on. There it is. Actually, we're going to go with red. And then just put that back in there. So again, another very tight fitting. Up to you if you want to do that one or not. Looks like the only way to get it in is to kind of push it in square as well, for the same reason. There we go. Alright, sorry if there's a lot of hands and fingers in that, but that's how you do the center console. Okay, with that we're going to go to a wrap up. Okay, if you've got this far, thank you for watching. I never say this because I forget, but like and subscribe. Generally speaking, new products will drop on YouTube kind of first, so this is where you hear about them. In summary, trunk easy, doors pain, but definitely doable. Front footwells easy, glove box and center console not at all worth the effort. So you're more than welcome to try, but we don't recommend it. Quick reminder, so this generation of bulbs is compatible for all locations, so doors, footwells, trunk, wherever, glove box, center console. And then we also sell the Mega Bright puddle lights as well, which are good for the doors. You can either put them in just the front doors or all four. If you put them in all four, or if you put two on each side, because the doors share the circuit, they'll dim a little bit. It's really not bad at all though. This latest generation of Mega Brights kind of tolerate the voltage drop or the amperage drop much better. So certainly you can put them in all the doors if you want. They're sold as pairs. All the regular Ultrabright lights, the colors, the white, red, blue, purple, they're sold as singles, so you can mix and match if you want. You can go with one color, just select the quantity on the site. I'll also include links for the various trim removal tools. You may already have something, so we're not going to include them in the package, but obviously add those if you need to make your life easier, and just take your time. It's pretty easy to install. Other things to mention, just while we're on the outside of the Model 3, since you're here, if you are, this is coming soon. This is a tinting film, so at night this is clear, during the day it's got about a 25% VLC tint on it, so it's UV reactive, so it doesn't diminish the light output when you need it, but during the day it gives you a sharper look. And then the center caps for the factory wheels on Highland we're going to be selling pretty soon as well. Whole bunch of stuff, there's stuff getting added to the site every week, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.